week I'm hanging out with Gaz.
Hello.
And Mike.
Hello.
Today we're going to talk about the 1996 Olympic bomber, or the bomb incident, and the hero slash villain of that case.
Yeah.
Hero slash villain slash maybe hero again.
Yeah, who knows? He's kind of the Batman and the Joker of this story.
Yes, he is. In the eyes of the public, anyway.
Yeah.
Well, thanks to the returning listeners, and then we'll crack on with it.
Sounds good to me.
That's usually the way we do things. Don't break the tradition too much.
No.
Okay, Frankfurt am Main in Germany, Bengaluru in India. Nearly said Frankfurt am Main in India then, how would that be? Imagine if India and Germany swapped places. Like, that'd be mental.
It wouldn't affect me because I'm not going to either of those.
Well, that's true. You don't go anywhere that's not in the UK now, do you?
Nope.
Germany would be packed, wouldn't it?
I don't need
Over 1 billion in that space.
I don't need to go to any other countries. They're all fucking here. Hey, vote reform. I'm joking.
Ooh.
Vote how you want.
Adelaide in Australia, Ashburn, Council Bluffs in the US, Rotterdam in Holland, Hastings in the UK, Dublin, Ireland, Osaka in Japan. Wow.
Fucking
For
hell.
God's sake, don't listen to those, what was the name of that episode?
Ocean Rikyo.
Episodes where I massacre every single Japanese pronunciation, despite spending a week listening to stuff being pronounced.
And that's the least of our concerns. How many times did I do the voice?
I don't think you did you?
Of course I did.
Mike, do you remember?
Gaz, he probably did.
I'm pretty sure I did the voice.
Right, well, don't listen to them. Listen to everything else, don't listen to them. Boardman in the US, Toledo in Spain, Guadalajara in Spain, Falkenstein in Germany, Fremont in the US, and Los Angeles in the US.
Wow.
Thanks for listening.
Yep.
Tell a friend, tell several friends.
Wonder who's listening in Los Angeles. Is it a Hollywood A-lister or a streetwalker?
Do you think it's Brad Pitt?
Might be. It might be, what's that? Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, God, I hope not.
He went off the rails,
Oh, you know,
didn't
there's not. I'll take Shia LaBeouf as long as it's not. Oh God, who's that fucker? Orlando Bloom.
Yeah.
Can't stand him. Can't act for shit.
Well, I don't mind Shia in the Transformers films.
He's alright in that.
Yeah, you know.
Killed his career with that Indiana Jones one, didn't he?
Yeah.
Mutt.
I know you. Oh, I shouldn't have brought him up. I forgot your hatred for Mutt.
Yeah, best thing that could have happened to him, wasn't it?
Killed off screen.
Yeah, best thing that could have happened.
Died in the war, I think.
Oh well, Indy didn't die in the war, did he?
No.
Shadow his father, wasn't he?
But in typical Disney fashion, they have to destroy all your heroes. Spoilers if you haven't seen the latest Indiana Jones film, but he's a broken, lonely, old, depressed man in a shitty little flat.
Oh, like Luke Skywalker then.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm drawing a direct parallel. Like lonely, depressed old man living in a shitty house.
Because Disney wants all us men to know that all our heroes are shit, because men are shit, and we're just shit, eat shit. Here, look at this powerful woman. Shithead. Oh, don't like her? Is that because you're a shithead? Shithead.
Because you didn't write the character properly.
Well, that's the main problem.
None of us had a problem with Ripley, did we?
No,
Sarah Connor.
Fucking Lethal Weapon 3, Riggs' girlfriend is just as hard as him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she'd have to be.
But it didn't bother me, she was great. Yeah. Sorry, well, that's my Disney rant over. What are we talking about this week, Ben?
Fuck the mouse.
Just like they fucked Indy.
Yeah. Oh God, what's that South Park skit about that woman when she's like this Disney and she's like, make a gay, put a black guy in it.
Yep.
So let's talk about Richard Jewell, who says Dick Jewell. Let's give the man some respect. He stopped a bomb.
Dick Jewell. That sounds like some dodgy advert, doesn't it?
That's not like a porn star. That's not a gay porn star. I don't know what
it makes me think of something that you see advertised in the back of a porn man. Get the Dick Jewell, give her the ultimate pleasure. It's some sort of device.
A gay porn star with a massive diamonds cock stud ring thing. That's his Dick Jewell. It's his trademark.
Jewell. Yeah. Well, this man's name was Richard.
Just give him some respect. He saved dozens of people during the 1996 Olympic bombing and then was falsely accused of perpetrating it. On July 27th, 1996, security guard Richard Jewell discovered a bomb at Atlanta's Olympic Park. While he was hailed as a hero at first, he soon became the FBI's #1 suspect. And hey, we've all seen it happen.
Yeah. I mean, it does sound like the sort of thing somebody would do, and you know.
Well, be a hero, innit?
Imagine if I was a hero and I found a bomb and saved everyone. How can I find a bomb? Oh, I could leave one.
Yeah. I'll know where it is. I'll know how to defuse it.
Yeah, you get them people that burn houses down and rescue the people from the building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does happen.
Yeah. You get the killer injecting themselves into the investigation in an attempt to look more innocent. Like, you remember that the caretaker of that school who killed the 2 girls? Oh yeah, I'm looking for him all the time. He was out all the time with them trying to put. You know, he's such a nice guy. He couldn't possibly do it.
He was on the news, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It's quite common, that, isn't it? Returning to the scene.
Happens a lot. They think it's some kind of mentality. They think because they're helping.
Yeah,
they
they're
won't
not
be
going
looked
to get
at.
caught. Yeah.
So he discovered the bomb in Atlanta's Centennial Olympic Park on July 27, 1996. And thanks to his quick thinking, he was able to evacuate dozens of people just before the bomb exploded, saving untold lives.
Good lad.
Exactly. But just a few days later, media reports surfaced that the FBI had made Jewell the prime suspect in the bombing.
The FBI never get things wrong.
No, they'd never get anything wrong.
Huh?
It's not like their first director stayed in power far too long and then liked wearing women's clothes.
Well, it's not like they've ever framed somebody before just because it was easier than actually solving it.
Well, that's another valid point. You know, it's...
I think that's like their #1 play, isn't it? Let's just say he did it.
This is one of the reasons why we're against the death penalty.
Well, yeah.
Well,
he could be dead now. Well, he's dead, but I mean, he could have died a lot quicker.
Oh, spoilers. So the hero quickly became a villain in the public eye. Media outlets across the country, from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution to CNN, painted Richard Jewell as a wannabe cop who was so desperate to play the hero that he was willing to kill people for it. Isn't it amazing that the media just demonised him? I mean, I actually don't remember this that well, in all fairness.
Just ruin somebody's life just to sell some papers.
Yeah, get some ratings. For an agonising 88 days.
Oh, fuck.
Everyone seemed to agree that Richard Jewell was guilty, tried in a court of public opinion.
Well, it does sound like the plot to a shit film, doesn't it?
It does. And even though he'd never even been officially charged with the crime, and in reality, the FBI soon stopped investigating when they realised that he wasn't the man they were looking for. And years later, in 2005, another man named Eric Rudolph pleaded guilty to planting the bomb.
It took them till 2005
Yeah.
to solve it.
Well, they've got all that other stuff going on.
Oh, 1996. How would a security guard and wannabe cop, how would he know how to build a bomb?
Pioneer days of the internet.
Yeah, the anarchist's cookbook, maybe.
It was a very crude thing. It was like a nail bomb, wasn't it?
I don't know anything about the bomb, to be
It
honest.
was a nail bomb.
It was a pipe bomb with nails in it.
Yeah, it was it's quite a
Surrounded by
vicious
nails.
weapon.
Yeah.
It's going to cause a lot of damage to people,
And he recognised it as a suspicious device.
which is his job,
Yeah.
which he'd have been
Well,
trained for.
I've got to be honest, I wouldn't recognise a pipe bomb. I'd probably be like, what's
It was
this?
it was
in a rucksack.
Good on him.
I mean, we are brainwashed into it now, though.
Because it was after 9/11 when they really started hitting us
Yeah.
over the head with that stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, being called in on a bus.
What did you do?
Just open the bag.
No, yeah.
Someone said that's been left unattended.
I was like,
And he just opened it.
because that's the kind of guy I am. But I opened the bag and it was someone's, because I said to the driver, like, hey, there's a bag been left on your bus, mate. And he's like, oh fuck. And I opened it up and it was a kid's sandwiches and his school books. I was like, that's possible, I'll be okay.
Did you eat the sandwiches?
No.
I would have.
You know.
As my reward, go, fuck!
I was late, I actually wanted to get to work. It would have meant I've had to skip my ritual 2 cigarettes in the morning before I started work.
Well, okay.
It's a later bus, you see, so I wanted him to hurry up.
So now we get to the truth. You're not a hero. Your heroism was based in selfishness.
It doesn't matter.
Well, it sort of does.
Nope.
You weren't doing it to save anyone.
I was.
It was because you regrets.
If I hadn't have said anything at all, there could have been a bus full of kids and old people and me. Could have gone off, killed us all.
Oh, God.
And this podcast would be weaker for it. And Dawley would be weaker for it.
Can you remember what part of town the bus was in?
Yes, it was at the Town Centre.
So you're the hero of Telford.
Oh, I didn't think so.
I know you do. I know you do. Well done you.
Thanks. Well, you know, if there
it.
Was a bomb, then in this case it wasn't. It was just someone's sandwiches.
But it could have been. He could have killed everyone on the bus.
Yeah.
Well, there's only me and 2 of the drivers.
Still, valuable bus drivers.
Well, I don't deny it, but
Yeah,
every life's valuable, Gaz. Every man and woman is a star.
destroyed a bus.
But I thought, no, it's time to be Benny Big Balls. I've got to have a look and save the day.
Well, he's had tons and tons of girlfriends. Back to old Jewel Dick.
Dick Jewel.
Dick Jewel, though. Why does it say what made them suspicious of him?
Well, it was all too late for him. His reputation had been irrevocably tarnished. Their famous case was later explored in the 2019 movie Richard Jewell, directed by Clint Eastwood.
Oh, that might be worth watching.
This film was meant to be a reminder of how rushing to judgment can ruin the life of an innocent person. But the real story of what happened to Richard Jewell is even more tragic.
Oh.
So, who was he? Well, he's a Paul Blart style character.
I was literally thinking that as we said his picture there.
And I hope that Paul Blart is an attempt at rehabilitating this man's character.
Dick Jewell.
Before he emerged into the public consciousness, Richard Jewell had a fairly mundane life. Born Richard White in 1962, December 17th, in Danville, Virginia. And he was raised in a strict Baptist home by his mother, Bobby. When he was 4 years old, his mother left his philandering father and soon married John Jewell. John Jewell. Who wouldn't?
Well, with a name like that.
Exactly. You're winning with a name like that straight away, aren't you? Who adopted Richard as his own son. But when he turned 6, the family moved to Atlanta, Georgia. And as a boy, he didn't have many friends, but kept busy in his home. I was a wannabe athlete, but I wasn't good enough, he told Vanity Fair in 1997. And when he wasn't reading books about the World Wars, he was either helping out teachers or taking volunteer jobs around the school.
Thoroughly nice chap.
His dream was to be a car mechanic, and so after high school, he enrolled in a technical school in southern Georgia. But 3 days later into classes, Bobby found out that Jewel's stepfather had abandoned the family.
Oh, shit.
So Jewel dropped out of his new school to be with his mother, which is, you know, doing the right thing by his family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After that, he worked all sorts of odd jobs, from managing a local yogurt shop to working as a jailer at the Habersham County Sheriff's Office in northeastern Georgia, staying with his mom all the while. Soon enough, he thought about going into law enforcement. In 1991, after years working as a jailer, Richard Jewell was promoted to deputy, and as part of his training, he was sent to Northeast Georgia Police Academy, where he finished in the top quarter of his class, which is no mean feat, is it?
Fair play.
Yeah.
Can't argue.
He was a regular Martin Riggs.
So it seemed he found his calling, and to understand, which is a quote, to understand Richard Jewell, you have to be aware that he is a cop. He talks like a cop, and he thinks like a cop, said Jack Martin, one of Jewell's attorneys during the Olympic bombing investigation. Jewell's commitment to upholding the law was obvious in the way he talked about things related to police work, even after his mistreatment by the FBI. But his overzealousness got him into trouble. He was once even arrested for impersonating a police officer and placed on probation on the condition he seeks psychological counselling. After wrecking his patrol car and being demoted back to a jailer, he quit the sheriff's office and found another police job at Piedmont College. Although his heavy-handedness policing students...
Cracking skulls.
Do you think... I am suspecting a bit of a John Wayne syndrome here,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, wouldn't you? You could push around a load of little hippie fucking students. It's better than having to deal with drug dealers and murderers, isn't it?
Well, you're not going to get shot on the street of your college, are you?
Is that a joint? Bang, 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 bang.
I'm just going to get shot in the classroom instead.
It's a lot more dangerous job nowadays, let's face
Well,
it.
yeah.
You've got an active shooter on campus. Oh, fuck! I'm supposed to deal with that. It's the one job you've got now. Don't they give you bigger guns, do you think?
Oh, I wouldn't mind if you had a massive... I'd be praying for a kid to come with a gun if I had a massive machine gun.
Because they're going to
shouldn't
bring in
have said
something
that.
like an AR.
I didn't mean it.
They're going to bring in something like an AR-15 style thing.
That's
right?
what I mean.
So you've got to have something equal to that, haven't you?
Like what Rambo has at the end of...
A 50 cal.
Yeah.
You can't really carry them about though. They have to be mounted on something.
Yeah.
You could have a Humvee.
You have to have a... Yeah.
It's not just you policing, is there?
Yeah.
There's another Tia mounted on. You could be firing off the back of a
Exactly.
Humvee.
Well,
Driving down the hot
golf
corridor.
cart.
Yes!
Oh, no,
there you
golf
go.
cart. Although the
Going down
recoil
the
might slow the cart down.
Going down the corridor. You'll be knocking it backwards. You'll be trying to drive forwards. Toot, 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 toot.
It's getting further and further away.
After them! Stop firing!
Like a little mini warthog out of
Yeah, Halo. Yeah.
Well, it's the future.
That's the way it's going.
Yeah.
According to school officials, he was eventually forced to resign from his post for cracking too many schools, presumably. And in a cruel twist of irony, Jules' intense regard for law enforcement was later painted as an obsession, one that might motivate him to take extreme measures to achieve recognition. So you think because he's basically a wannabe Judge Dredd in Paul Blart's body.
Yeah, but I think he's just like really, really nerdily obsessed with the law and hyper vigilant, and that's why he spotted the bag. You know what I mean? When all the other security guards were just dossing about, and he's evacuating everyone.
No, his instincts are absolutely right. He's actually doing his job.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of shit he should be looking out for.
He's one hell of a security guard.
He's one hell of a security
I'll
guard.
give him that.
10 out of 10 would have hired him to security any event I'm holding.
Yeah. Just don't let him drive any squad cars.
Oh, yeah.
Because he wrecked
someone
one.
just gets someone to drop. Yeah, it's just he's driving like a fucking proper cop, that's why.
Did he use his car to like skid into somebody else's car to knock him off the road or something?
Yeah,
Because
presumably.
they ran a red light or something.
Or he was in a high-speed chase, lost control and slammed into a tree.
That's a possibility. Or he was pissed.
Or he was pissed, who can say? We don't know the details. Could be any one of them.
Yeah.
I doubt he'd be drink driving, being the fact that he's got a high regard for the law.
That's true.
As we should all have.
Well, we do.
Of course.
Obviously.
So with all the buzz around the 1996 Summer Olympics in Atlanta, Joe figured there was probably a security job waiting for him there. Ex-cop and jailer.
Yeah.
Come on in, mate. Don't even have an interview.
Yeah. Top of the queue.
Yeah. It seemed like an opportune time since his mother, who still lived in Atlanta, was planning on undergoing foot surgery. And Joel ultimately landed a position as one security guard working the 12-hour night shift. Well, that's a bastard, though.
Yeah.
Never work 12-hour nights. I'd never do it. It's too fucking much, that is.
I did 11 hours, that was bad enough.
When they do the 3 on 3 off at my place nights, I think, how would you fucking swap your body clock around in 3 days? You can't.
Yeah. Fuck that.
So little did you know, I always reckon they have a fucking kit myself, but on that first night, I reckon they take it in turns.
Yeah.
So little did he know his new gig would soon throw his life into disarray. And on July 26, 1996, according to Jewel, he left his mother's house for the Olympic Park at 4:45 p.m. and arrived at the AT&T Pavilion 45 minutes later. He took a break to go to the bathroom around 10 p.m. When he came back to his station near the Sound and Light Tower by a music stage, Jewel noticed a group of drunks littering all over it.
And he thought, I'm going to beat the fuck out of these guys.
He later told an FBI agent he remembered being annoyed with the group because they caused a mess and were bothering the camera crew. Being the vigilante that he was, Jewel probably went to report the drunken letterbugs, but on the way he spotted an olive green military-style backpack that had been left unattended underneath a bench. Why wouldn't he have a radio? I know this is 1996, but walkie-talkies are still...
Good point.
Maybe
You'd
they...
think all the security team would have walkie-talkies.
Well, that's how rinky-dink and low down, you know. It's basically a steward.
It's a night shift.
Yeah.
I guess. But no, that's when you'd want the security, isn't it? Because of, you know, people are drunk. Stewards, I mean, an American security guard is very different to a British security guard.
They're allowed to carry their own weapons and things.
He may well be packing, for all we know.
Might have some bear spray.
He could be armed around he sees fit, couldn't he?
Rambo knife.
Maybe. So at first I didn't think much of it, and I even joked about the contents of the bag with Tom Davies, an agent with the Georgia Bureau of Investigation, the GBI. I was thinking to myself, well, I'm sure that one of those people left it on the ground, George said, and when Davies came back and said nobody said it was theirs, that was when the little hairs on the back of my head began to stand up, and I thought, uh-oh.
Spaghetti-o.
This isn't good. Both Jewel and Davis quickly cleared spectators out of the area around the mystery backpack, and Jewel also made 2 trips into the tower to warn and later evacuate the technicians. So he's going in, that could be a bomb, he's going in there, getting those guys out, much like me on the bus.
Yeah.
Around 1:25 a.m. on July 27th, 1996, the backpack exploded, sending pieces of shrapnel into the nearby crowds of spectators. Onto, not into. Onto, they're too far off.
1:25 a.m? What were they spectating?
I don't know.
Right in the dark.
Little floodlights,
They've
mate.
got
It's
electricity.
Let's turn the power off.
1996.
This is Georgia.
Well,
Look, I think one of the minimum qualities around Olympics, Mike, is guaranteed electrical supply. I think it's a minimum requirement.
I think they check.
Well, you have rolling blackouts, do you?
Why didn't you mention this before we gave you the Olympics? Well, we wouldn't have got it, would we?
All the cyclists are not doing anything. They have to go off and cycle.
Everyone
the
just
generators.
clatters into each other at 1:20 when the lights go out.
So I don't think it didn't kill anyone. He said onto rather than into. So they've all been evacuated. And in the aftermath of the attack, investigators found that the perpetrator had planted nails inside a pipe bomb, a sinister creation meant to inflict maximum harm. And nail bombs are very nasty fucking things, as you can imagine.
Horrific.
Not long after the explosion, Atlanta's Centennial Olympic Park, was swarming with federal agents. Richard Jewell, who spoke with the first agents to arrive at the park, vividly remembered the chaotic scene following the bomb's detonation. It was like what you hear in the movies. It was like kaboom, Jewell said in a 1997 interview. All the shrapnel that was inside the package kept flying around, and some of the people got hit from the bench and some with metal. Later reports revealed that a 911 call from a nearby phone booth had tipped dispatchers off to the threat. There is a bomb in Centennial Park. You have 30 minutes. It'd likely be in the bomb. Well, that's usually who it is.
What gave them that idea?
Might have been Baba Vanga.
She would have been the last year of her life, but yeah, I think. Did she die in like 1997, something like that? It could have been Baba Vanga, you're right. And you know what, Mike?
More like the bomber, though.
I want to ask the question: where the fuck was Baba Vanga in this scenario? Where was she for every horrible event?
How didn't she not warn everyone?
Exactly.
You know. Sorry, Mike.
Lazy.
Don't mean to talk ill of your bird.
Lazy, you're right. So the Centennial Olympic Park explosion killed 1 woman and injured 111 others.
Bloody hell.
And a cameraman also died of a heart attack while rushing to film the scene.
That'll learn you.
Vulture. Media vulture. People are dying, I need to run faster. The number of deaths could have easily been much worse than the area had not been partially evacuated by Richard Jewell. Fair play to him.
Yes, this is true.
But his fame soon turned to infamy after the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, his own town's fucking paper, turns on him immediately, publishing a front page story with a headline that suggested that Richard Jewell might have been guilty of planning the attack in the first place. FBI suspects hero guard may have planted bomb, said the headline.
Motherfuckers. No
I mean,
morals.
they're doing their job. The main suspect.
Yeah, but this isn't even like an official statement. This is hearsay that she's
Is
got
it?
a mate at the FBI.
Yeah.
They said, oh yeah, we're looking at him. Which I suppose they would look at him.
That's what I mean.
But
they're looking at.
But to scream out that on a
Yeah,
front
yeah,
page
that's
headline.
bad, isn't it?
That's who I'm talking about, the press. Because she says there, look, it was a tip from a friend in the bureau that they were looking at Jewell.
Which they would do. The same as in any situation like this. Someone's found a bomb. Hey, no, let's get people out of it.
Yeah.
They've got to look at you because all of us, it's quite suspicious you saw that was a fucking bomb. Or suspicious.
Yeah.
You
Which
know,
they
it's
probably
ruling
did.
you out.
They cleared him straight
Yeah,
away. It's like,
yeah.
It's clear that you're not the bomber.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, it rules you out.
Yeah.
Because everyone that's there is a suspect. But for her to run that,
Yeah, that's
Kathy
bad,
Scruggs,
isn't it? Yeah.
to run that as
Ruin his
they're
life.
looking at it, he may have planted it, is absolutely shocking.
Scumbag.
It was confirmed by another source with the Atlanta police. So she's rang up her mate and gone to the police and, hey, I hear they're looking at Richard Jewell. Well, yeah, they'd have to. Oh, there we go. That's a story. What a bitch.
He was a hero, damn it.
Most damaging was one specific sentence in the piece. Quote, Richard Jewell fits the profile of the lone bomber, end quote, which was published despite no public declarations by the FBI or criminal behaviour experts. Other news outlets picked up on the bombshell story and used similar language to profile Jewell, painting him as a lone man bomber and a wannabe cop, and I presume they threw in and he still lives with his mom.
mum.
It's an old saying, isn't it? A lie gets round the world before the truth can even get its pants on.
Yeah.
Churchill said that. Or Winnie.
Oh, good on him. These bastards. They're ruining this fella.
They are.
Destroying
This is slander. This
Yeah.
is. You know, they were talking about an FBI profile of a hero bomber, and I thought, what FBI profile? It rather surprised me, said the late Robert Ressler, a former FBI agent for the Behavioural Science Unit, who interviewed notorious killers like Ted Bundy and Jeffrey Dahmer during his career. And let's say they did bring the Behavioural Science Unit in. They're the, you know, the psychological guys. What makes a killer? And they know how to crack people, how to psychoanalyse them in an interview.
Yeah.
And if they had suspected him, I'm pretty sure they'd have been sat down with him, and they'd know within fucking half an hour whether he's telling the truth or not.
Yeah. I'd say so.
And according to Ressler, who co-authored the crime classification manual used by the FBI, the hero bomber profile does not exist. But that means they've never encountered one.
This is true.
Ressler suspected the term was a bombastic spin on hero homicide, which refers to an individual who is hungry for recognition but wouldn't kill anyone. So that's a thing, I suppose. That's burning down a house and saving them would come under that.
It's very common, apparently. Very common. More common than you think.
Well, yeah, I guess it would be. Everyone wants to be the hero of their own story.
I once tried to save a bird from the middle of a busy road, but it turned out when I got up to it, it was a black plastic bag.
Oh, did you go into the middle of a busy road?
Then I realised it was a black plastic bag.
I think you felt like a right dick.
Oh yeah, I
then,
felt like the biggest cock on planet Earth. Like waving at the people I'd stopped. Just get back in the van.
Hope that no one's taking a photo of your licence plate.
Fuck my life.
Wow.
Good times. I need a hero. Oh, it's a fucking bag. It's a fucking bag. And I was thinking, do I pick it up and act like it's a bird?
Bird cradle it.
I did consider it.
What's that carrying that plastic bag?
Yeah, why is he carrying it like that?
Yeah. Quack, quack. Stroking it. It's a bird.
It's fucked. I'm gonna save it. I'm a hero.
For 88 days following the report of the FBI's investigation into Richard Jewell, He and his mother were engulfed in a media storm. Investigators searched his mother's apartment and brought Joel in for questioning, while news vans staked outside his mother's residence. You know, surely they'd fucking know within... Alright, let's go and search his house just to rule him out completely. Oh, well, there's no fucking... any residue of explosives in here.
No cookbooks.
The equipment to make them. And I know he's a cop, and yes, he wouldn't know how to get rid of evidence.
But he's not a soldier, is he? How does he know?
No.
You know, bomb making and...
Oh, there was the anarchist...
I suppose, yeah.
But has he got the internet?
Yeah.
He's reading World War II books.
Lawmaker Monthly or something.
Yeah, he's probably got a magazine about his gun.
Yeah. Spends many nights polishing his gun.
That's very therapeutic. It is. So in October 1976, after exhaustive probes suggested Richard Jewell could not have planted the bomb based on his whereabouts that night, the US Justice Department formally cleared him as a suspect in the Centennial Park bombing investigation, but the damage to his reputation was irrevocable. And I guess, because of the media frenzy, that's why they then had to go out.
I think it's irrevocable, isn't it?
Irrevocable.
Is it irrevocable?
I think so.
What did I say?
Irrevocable?
I think you can say that.
Is it?
Might be a different spelling.
I don't know.
I'm right.
Well, you said both now, so I just delete the one that is incorrect.
Well, I think our listener enjoys my inability to pronounce things at times. This is the only reason they went and searched his place and did this four massive investigations. Because some of the FBI has gone, well, the paper's running that an FBI source is saying that this guy's a suspect. Well, if there's some source is telling the paper, we need to go and fucking check him out so we don't look like dickheads now.
Also, we might as well just blame it on him.
Yeah, why
I haven't
not?
got a suspect. Obviously, I haven't got a clue.
There you go.
It's the only suspect we've got.
Yeah, let's spend 88 fucking days dragging our feet over it. Surely it shouldn't have took that long to be like, no bomb making stuff here. Where were you?
Well, could have been worse. Look at the Jill Dando murder.
Oh yeah, never been solved.
They fixed up that guy, didn't they? He went to prison.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't he?
Barry George, wasn't it?
Barry George.
Local simpleton.
Yeah. He was.
I don't think you can say that.
He was though.
Look, we've arrested the local simpleton. Why did the police come out saying that? Maybe in the 60s. We've got a suspect in the murder of Joe Dando. He's the local simpleton.
It's the village idiot.
He's the village idiot. We've brought him in for questioning and we think he's done it.
But if they'd used them words, then everyone would have gone, well, it can't be him because he's a simpleton. See my point?
Yeah, but it's easier to blame him than anyone else, isn't it?
It was the local retard.
Where were you? I don't know. Where were you? I was looking at cat poop.
Where were you? Banana. It's him.
So Jules said, you don't get back what you were originally. I don't think I would ever get that back. The first 3 days I was supposedly the hero, the person who saves lives. They don't refer to me in that way anymore. Now I'm the Olympic Park bombing suspect. That's the guy they thought did it.
Yeah,
That's right.
Media.
Yeah.
Dicky.
It's actually now a case study in irresponsible reporting by the press and reckless investigation by the FBI. The case has everything: the FBI, the press, the violation of the Bill of Rights, and the First to the Sixth Amendment, says Watson Bryant, one of Jules' attorneys of his client's infamous case. The catalyst of the inquiry into Jules' innocence was a phone call made by Piedmont College President Ray Clair, Jules' former boss, who told the FBI about the security guard's alleged overzealousness and his forced departure from the school. But no one else can be held accountable for the mismanagement of the investigation except for the Bureau. And it's a bit fucking harsh, isn't it? Your ex-boss ringing you up to give you a bad review.
Yeah, isn't it?
Ringing up the info, yeah, you know what? Used to beat up the kids. Some might say they needed the beating.
He put a joint out in a student's eyeball.
Was doing illegal drugs, consequences.
And said, fuck you, hippie bitch.
Consequences.
Yeah.
Smoking an illegal drug.
And he screamed, I am the law.
Is it's only right, isn't it? Come on, if you were a copper, you'd do it.
He caught a couple heavy petting and severely beat them both. with his truncheon.
Which one?
Jewel. He beat them both.
No,
Which
he's-
which truncheon?
Which truncheon?
Oh. Oh, Ben. How uncouth. I'm sorry, Dickie. You're a hero in my eyes.
Well, he is a hero. Vanity Fair reported a year after the bombing, revealing internal tensions stemming from toxic rivalries and a micromanaging leadership, specifically from then FBI Director Louis Freer within the agency. The treatment of the case was so bad that an inquiry was made, and Richard Jewell was invited to testify at congressional hearings over the Bureau's conduct.
Good.
Yep.
It was then revealed that Richard Jewell had been interrogated as a suspect under false pretences by FBI agents who were directly handling the bombing of the case. On July 30th, 1996, FBI agents Don Johnson and Diada Rosario...
They're made-up names.
They can't. If they are, then it's bringing Johnson and Rosario on this.
Johnson and Johnson, St. Diard.
Yes.
Wasn't Don Johnson from Miami Vice?
Oh yeah, I think he was, wasn't he?
Oh, come on, if your name is Don Johnson and you've seen Miami Vice, you know you're going into fucking law
Don
enforcement.
Johnson definitely sounds like the most bent FBI agent on earth. Don?
And then he's struggling around with a Hawaiian shirt on, though.
Don, we got a real problem here, Don. I'm sorry. You fucked up.
You've been dealing cocaine with the Colombians.
But think about it though, because there was like internal tensions and ship management, some FBI agents were so desperate to win the case over some other ones that they were willing to fuck over an innocent man just to get it solved and sorted. That's so filthy.
Yep.
Well, listen to the next bit here. Re-examinations of the reporting surrounding the case also revealed egregious journalistic mistakes. The tone of the coverage insinuated that Richard Jewell was guilty despite the lack of evidence to support the claim, and painted him as a fame-hungry wannabe hero. The New York Post called him a village Rambo and a fat, failed former sheriff's deputy.
Fucking hell.
Jay Leno said that Jewell had a scary resemblance to the guy who whacked Nancy Kerrigan.
Don't know who she is.
No, mate. And questioned, what is it about the Olympic Games that brings out big, fat, stupid guys?
Well, fair enough. Jay Leno's just a TV
Comedian.
comedian host.
Yeah.
I mean, but the New York Post calling him
A village Rambo.
and fat shaming him. Isn't it?
Different time, 96, wasn't it?
Mm. Meanwhile, Dave Kindred, a columnist at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, not only implied that Richard Jewell was guilty, but also compared him to convicted murderer and suspected child serial killer Wayne Williams. Like this one, that suspect was drawn to the blue lights and sirens of police work. Like this one, he became famous in the aftermath of murder. Fucking hell.
Hellfire. Based on nothing.
Yeah.
Wow. This is literally just... Oh, this is shit. I feel so sorry for him.
Yeah.
Do have to be... I mean, okay.
Comparing him to a fucking
Child serial
I mean, it's
killer.
like
He's got to read the page.
It's like comparing someone that robs a tin of beans from Tesco as the fucking, great train robber. You know what I mean?
Well, that would depend whether they hit a security guard over the head with that kind of beans.
Victimless crime. Victimless
He
crime.
died far too young after that blow to the head, and you know it.
Victimless. They made a funny film about it
A man died.
with Phil Collins in it.
A man died.
Years later.
Not that long. Gave him massive PTSD, ruined his life.
Probably manslaughter, wasn't it?
Such a Debbie Downer.
Manslaughter.
Such a Debbie Downer. It was a romantic, cheeky, cockney, working class crime.
If he wasn't, he was just a security guard. He's just some bloke who's got a family earning his wages. What are you smacking him over the head for? Just punch him in the face.
Well, it's not the films. You might not knock him out. You might have to hit him about 10 times.
Well, that's it. That's the issue I've got.
Well, just crack him.
Yeah, don't knock him out. You could have just tied him up.
Okay. But back to Dickie. Did he get a load of fucking compo? I hope so.
He did get a bit. Not that much.
After the investigation, Richard Jewell sued several news outlets for libel and won settlements from Piedmont College, the New York Post, CNN and NBC, the latter who reported $500,000 NBC. However, he lost a decade-long battle with Cox Enterprises, the parent company of the Atlanta paper. So 500,000 NBC, but a 10-year battle with Cox Enterprises.
Dick Jules used Cox Enterprises.
Dick versus Cox in court.
Dick was in a 10-year battle with Cox. I've got the DVD.
The libel case against the Journal-Constitution continued years after Richard Jewell's death in 2007, and even went all the way up to the Georgia Supreme Court. But the court ultimately ruled that because the paper's reporting was true at the time of publication, that he was indeed an FBI suspect in the days after the bombing, and it didn't owe Jewell or his family anything.
That's fucking bollocks, isn't it?
Nevertheless, no amount of settlements could ever have given Richard Jewell back two important things he lost: his dignity and peace. I hope and pray that no one else is ever subjected to the pain and ordeal that I have gone through, he said through tears during a press conference after the Justice Department cleared of the bombing. The authorities should keep in mind the rights of the citizens. I thank God it has ended, and you know what I have known all along. I am an innocent man. Years after Richard Jewell's exoneration, the real bomber, Eric Rudolph, pled guilty to the attack as well as 3 other bombings in 2005. But tragically, Richard Jewell's death just came 2 years later. On August 29, 2007, Richard Jewell died from heart disease and complications from diabetes. He was just 44 years old, meaning he had precious little time to enjoy his life after the bombing and subsequent media frenzy upended it. Tellingly, even after Richard's death, some obituaries still described him as a suspect of the bombing in the headlines.
Fucking dicks.
However, others described him as a hero, the title he should have held all along.
Wow. What a tragic story.
Media really are bastards, aren't they? They really are.
Yeah.
The tabloid press is... Yeah.
No matter how much you hate them, you don't hate them enough.
No, that's it. You don't hate them enough.
Evil. Nothing's changed. None of these lawsuits did anything. No one's learned anything. Investigations and all that. People still get accused of things and found guilty in the press, don't they? And then turns out they were fine.
Then all they have to do is print a retraction.
Yeah.
Which you can
still
stick on page 8 and is an inch long.
I think the law should be the retraction should be as big as the headline was. Yeah. If it was front page, then it's got to be on your fucking front page.
Yeah. We're sorry we messed up.
Yeah. We were trying to sell papers again. Tusk.
Our press, I mean, look what they did to Diana. I mean, destroyed her.
God rest her sexy soul. Corbyn deserves it.
The commie.
Jam jar collecting twat. No, I'm joking. Let's not get into it. This is about the press being evil.
Did you know that Corbyn, during the Falklands War, just on the road to the Falklands War, was an incumbent MP for Islington, and was the only one who said no, we shouldn't have re-invaded.
Right. I disagree with him on that, but you know.
You also have to, yes, okay, whatever you think, but still, it's like, well, you know what? At least he had the balls to say no when everyone else said yes.
That's it. He stands on what he believes in, doesn't he? But
you can't argue with that. I may disagree with it. But you can't argue with the conviction.
They were British citizens, weren't they? Yeah. So they were invaded.
Yeah.
I saw a headline the other day, and it said, Corbyn could save Labour from Starmer, and I thought, oh, what fucking level of fresh hell is this?
Well, he's not even a member of the Labour Party anymore, so...
Well, that's good. I would replace that fucking square-headed fucking alien mongo with fucking the geography teacher. With his jam.
Maybe we need the geography teacher.
No, we don't. With his fucking leather elbows. Piss off. Anyway.
Hey, they were singing his name at fucking Glastonbury.
Yeah.
You don't get many politicians saying the same thing.
You mean you never heard the O Keir Starmer chants? Must have just been me.
No, when people were just going cunt, cunt, cunt.
It was during Cunt in the Gang.
Massive protest today calling for him to resign or call her.
Oh, hang on, wasn't the national strike today?
Something.
On a Saturday when no one's working.
Well, it's easier to get down there.
Well, no, a strike is a strike. You say, I'm not coming in today and go there. That's how it works. You don't do a strike on a Saturday when no one's working.
Some people work on Saturdays.
I worked half a day, but that's because I had to. And
well, look.
I'll guarantee you.
You're not everyone.
Everyone was off. I bet you. Very few of them people had jobs to go to on a Saturday.
It makes sense to have it on a Saturday because then you can get someone to watch the kids or the dog.
No, right, they come in. It's a national strike. Everyone should go.
Well, you don't take your kids on a strike.
Of course you do.
What if it gets nasty?
Oh, you get out of there. We shouldn't be getting nasty, should it? It's a peaceful protest.
Well, it's 2025, so one chuck a brick.
I'd like to see the stats.
And it'll all kick off. The police will get heavy-handed. That's my prediction. Anyway, so, what do you think of this? What's your final thoughts on Mr. Dickie Jewell?
The media,
Poor bastard.
And the media are twats, aren't they?
The hero of Atlanta.
You know, he did his job. As Roy Keane would say, he did his job.
Yeah, that's his job and he did
That's
it.
his job.
Yeah. It's like the tragic real-life Paul Blart, isn't it? If Paul Blart was realistic...
I like to think that Paul Blart is an extension of Richard Jewell.
If you remade it as a realistic, this would be the truth of it. You get overzealous, you actually save somebody, but you know, you can't beat people up.
No.
You're a security guard.
Well, he wants to be judged. He wants to be a cop, and he really wants to be a cop.
We don't know. It didn't get that specific though. We don't know if he beat up kids.
No, he might have just pushed somebody or something like that. You don't know.
And it said he wrecked a car, but it didn't say how.
No.
So we don't know if he was being sucked off by a hooker whilst high on coke and drunk and chasing a bad guy. Could have been all those things.
That's the only way to fucking do it. Being drunk, off your face on coke, and being blown by a hooker as you chase a bad guy in your police car.
If I was a policeman in a
Come on.
small town in America, that's exactly how I'd spend every Friday. And get away with it. You know.
You get in the car, fall over, your gun goes off, you shoot yourself in the leg. Kind of drunk.
No, my gun discipline would be so good that even off my tits, nothing bad could happen.
Would you just practice while you're off your tits
Yeah,
all the time?
so that my aim was amazing
Yeah.
when I was smashed. And when I'm sober, I couldn't hit a barn door, so...
Oh, so you Clint Eastwood from Unforgiven.
Yeah,
then.
so when shit kicks off, I have to break
Get a bo-
open
get a bottle of
emergency
whiskey.
booze, yeah. Oh, that's better.
No, they
Bang,
shot
bang.
the emergency booze.
If I was Dickie Jewell, I would have shot the bomb. I'd have got everyone out of there and then shot it from a distance. That's how you do it.
Or you have leapt into the air as you went top of
And then the black police captain would have screamed, Jewell! Do you have any idea how much that stand cost? I'm going to bust you down to street patrol.
I'm going to bust you back to jail. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a step up from security guard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
I say rest in peace, Dick Jewell.
yeah.
Yeah.
We should really call him Richard, shouldn't we?
Well, I have been. It's you two that have been disrespecting the man.
The hero of Atlanta.
Yeah.
He did save... Look, 111 people were injured, but if the people that were stood by it and milling past it hadn't moved,
Yeah.
and one person died, it could have been
Yep.
a hell of a lot worse.
You
We
think
salute you.
Yes. You're a king of the security guards.
king of the security guards.
Yeah.
We should bestow that title upon him. It's an official. That's it. It's official.
Yeah,
We all in agreement.
yeah,
Motion carried.
yeah. Give him
You're
a...
not forgetting about the skulls that you cracked.
They
Well, yeah, he makes
deserved
up
it.
for that.
They deserved it. He should have a statue. One with him beating a hippie with a truck
Fuck yeah!
with a nightstick.
Beating a hippie with a nightstick.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah!
He's got the hair with one hand and he's...
He's up in the air like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic. To Law and Order. I'm
How much-
sure all the young people of America would really appreciate that in this day and age.
And we should also make him look like Big Boss Man in it.
Yes. Well, he had the build.
Yeah, exactly, so you can shave some weight off him. You know?
Oh man, the lyrics to Big Boss Man's theme song. If you ever take a trip down to Cobb County, Georgia. He was in Georgia, wasn't he?
Yeah.
You better read the signs, respect the law and order.
He's going to crash his police car.
Oh, you'll
into
do
you.
hard times. I bet he was listening to that song
Oh,
full
fuck
blast while he crashed the car. He was looking at himself in the mirror, doing that thing where you spin the nightstick round. You'll be doing hard times. Shit. Fuck.
Yeah, he just killed 2 people, and then luckily he turns into a drug dealer.
But
Just to win.
yeah, because we look after our own, you could go back to being a jailer. Oh, at least he kept his job. Well, fuck the
Yeah.
press.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to Richard Jewell and fuck the press. You truly are a hero, sir.
Yeah.
And I raise my glass to you.
Yeah, well done, Dickie. I'll raise a. Sorry, Richard. I'll raise a beer to Richard.
To Richard.
To Richard.
And that's where we end the show. I'm in Ben. Thanks for listening. Remember to do as thou wilt. Love is the law, and that everyone is a star.
I'm Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
I've been Gaz. If you see a bomb, shoot it. Bye.